Dave Bautista, Hulk Hogan. And what would the Princess Bride be without Andre the Giant? Anybody want a peanut? oh, yeah. And Tyrus. Now, without wrestlers, audiences would be left thinking guys like Robert De Niro are a tough guy. Okay, but I will give you this one. John Cena did not come up with the famous catchphrase, "You can't see me." He actually stole that from Gutfeld, who used that whenever he was standing behind a 7-year-old. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. All night. Boom, boom. Anyway, maybe movies ain't your thing, okay? But wrestlers can also write. Ever hear of best-selling author Mick Foley? Or good old J.R. Jim Ross? Or how about the #1 on Amazon, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, best-selling author Tyrus? Still not convinced? Did someone hit you over the head with a steel chair? Okay. Well, America loves Olympians. And we've had Mark Henry, Ken Patera, Kurt Angle, and he won gold. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. We've had more takedowns than Twitter. We have. It's factual. Ever seen a G.I. Joe cartoon as a kid? Remember Sergeant Slaughter? Okay, I get it. This is a news network, so let's talk politics, okay? All right, cool. Jesse the Body Ventura. He went on to become governor of Minnesota. And now one of the fastest rising voices in the Republican Party is a former wrestler, mayor of Knoxville, your friend and mine, Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane. So wrestlers can talk the talk and walk the walk, unlike our current president, who can't do either without machines. Matter of fact, you can't even say the American dream without someone saying Dusty Rhodes. Dusty always told me, Tyrus, paint your own canvas. And when you hear the people, you'll know what to do. And you owe me money for all that I've taught you. Open and shut like door, right? No, still not convinced? Okay. Have you ever been out in public and someone yelled, woo? And the people yelled back, what? Woo! Why? Because everybody wants to be the nature boy. Ric Flair, not Joe, who has the same nickname, but for different reasons that HR won't let us get into. And wrestlers, we're in more homes than couches. Everybody wants to be a wrestler. Actors, singers, boxers, football players. Last week, Kilmeade asked me to put him in a headlock, said it reminds him of high school. Muhammad Ali, Don King, President Donald Trump, they all learned how to talk trash from what? Wrestling. The great Gorilla Monsoon coined the phrase, the irresistible force meets the immovable object. Well, that also sums up Greg when he's constipated. Bam, bam, all night, told you, all night. And when athletes win a Super Bowl or NBA championship, they ask for what? A wrestling championship belt. Now, this Sunday, when I beat Trevor Murdoch for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship at the Chase, I'm not going to ask for a damn trophy. I'm going to wear my trophy. And I don't have any more room for metal necklaces. Still don't feel me? Okay. I didn't want to go there, but here we go. The second most talked about president of all time that freed the slaves, saved the Union, Abe the Hatchet Lincoln. Ring a bell? At 6'4" and 120 pounds, he was huge for the 1860s. So wrestlers are the very fabric of our country, and it's no wonder Tyrus is hosting the #1 show. What you gonna do, brother or woman or person, or we ain't got time for all that. The next time a wrestler walks by you, say thank you. Still want to tear your shirt off and disagree? I said old Abe was the second most talked about president of all time because the greatest wrestler to become president, who else? President Donald Trump. And man, can he cut a promo just like a wrestler. He's a villain. He's a good guy. Love him or hate him, guess what? You still watch him. And you see, that's the story of wrestling. It's the same in the story of America. Individuals that beat the odds, tenacious, gritty, witty, and strong. With all those traits, there's no goal you can't reach, even if you're as short as Greg. I told you all night. And who knows? There could be a third wrestling president.
Hashtag enough said.
Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's the Florida phenom, active in the Navy Reserves, and you will get served. Morgan, the Octopus Ortega. Representing the great outdoors, the Arizona Assassin, Nature Girl, Katie Pavlik. From parts unknown, weight unknown, his reasons for being here unknown, comedian Joe DeVito. And like an ink cartridge, she's small, colorful, and hard to replace. Cat, the smitten kitten, Tiff. Or Catherine C. Tim.
Catherine C. Tim.
Investigative journalist, which you can catch on the Tyrus and Tim podcast. Oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of plugs today.
Great plug, yeah.
So, Kat, let me go to you first. I know because last night when I was sending you ideas about my monologue and stuff, you did not know that Abraham Lincoln was, in fact, a wrestler.
I did not know that. So I was like, how much do I not know about wrestling? So I Googled a lot about wrestling.
Oh, boy.
So it's the oldest sport ever. So it's like older than Jesus. That's a big deal. And there was a guy named Barry Horowitz. Do you know about this guy? Yeah. He had a 7-year losing streak. And I thought that was relatable because I had a 7-year losing streak, like not in wrestling, but just ages 23 to 30. And Snooki, she won more PPV WWE matches than Sting. What can Snooki not do? And I could go on for a really long time, but I won't. Like I just thought it was people throwing chairs. So
and Brett Baer will not have you on.
I know. I know. I could do a special wrestling report.
All right, Assassin. Now listen, you and I, what we would call the term in wrestling, have a small feud. Last time I was on the 5, she made fun of my cardigan.
I did not.
She said it was a sweater.
I accurately called it a sweater material cardigan.
Which is basically saying
true.
It's a sweater. Okay, so if you had to choose, were you shocked or surprised to hear that President Trump, in fact, was a wrestler?
I was shocked and surprised about that. You know, I used to think that wrestlers were very short and stout, and then I met you, and my mind was blown. Right. But one of my favorite shop teachers in high school was for welding. I also know how to weld in addition to being an assassin. He was a wrestler. He was a wrestling coach, and he actually did throw a desk across the room once, and then we didn't see him again.
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with wrestling. I think it had to do with his teacher's pay.
Maybe.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, Mr. Parts Unknown. You know a little bit of everything. I was intrigued the fact that, did you always want to be from Unknown?
You don't have a choice when you're from Parts Unknown.
It's great, yeah. There's no taxes in Unknown either.
This is so strange. I never thought there would be a co-host or a guest host for the show who would choke slam me in the green room. And
I'm sorry about that.
Well, no, it actually was last night when Kat was hosting.
Yeah. Her pregame warm-up is rough.
Brutal.
I actually hid in the hair and dressing room while she was warming up. My rep would have been gone in seconds if you would have choke slammed me. I mean, people would start picking on me. All right, Octopus. Now, you've served, you've been in close quarters with men. How much influence has wrestling been in your life, if at all?
Well, everyone knows from my national security beat that I'm such a big wrestling fan.
I'm sensing a little sarcasm.
Not really. I remember in high school, the boys that wrestled, they all had like ringworm, and I thought it was really gross. That's what I remember in high school. Right? Everyone remembers it. It's kind of gross. But here's the other thing here's my beef though with modern wrestling. Is John Cena, does he count as like a modern, like today wrestler? Because all I know is that he capitulated to the Chinese Communist Party and apologized in Chinese for acknowledging Hong Kong and Taiwan. So this is how I relate to wrestling, by talking about China.
That is a strong argument. And my question is to you, do you own an Apple phone?
Yes. Right
Shut up. John Cena is a saint.
Oh, are you buddies with him?
Am I buddies with him?
Yeah.
No, after he said that stuff? No, he's a good guy. I liked him. He was a good friend. He
What
was fair to
about
me when I was
Barry
there.
Horowitz?
No, Barry Horowitz is a legend, and yes, he did lose for 7 years.
Is he Jewish? I love that we have a Jewish wrestler. I didn't
Sure,
think that was a thing.
sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.